pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. This is Monday, October 7th. If you have any questions, concerns, you can come up to the podium up there and give us your name and address. If we vote on anything up here before we take the official vote, after the motion's been made, I'll try to give you a chance to have a comment. And there's a public comment area number 10 is, we limit that to 3 minutes for 9 agenda items. I'll have the roll call, please.
Mayor Cedar?
Here.
Councilmember Gottler?
Here.
Councilmember Kupa?
Here.
Councilmember Laporte?
Here.
Councilmember Paul?
Present.
Councilmember Volt?
Here.
Councilmember Watt is absent this evening.
Make a motion to excuse Member Watt.
Supported.
Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4 is consent agenda. A is the City Council minutes of September 16th, 2024, regular meeting, recommendation approve. B is Golf Commission minutes of August 8th, 2024, meeting, recommendation receive. And C is Cemetery Board of Trustees minutes, August 19th, 2024, meeting, recommendation receive.
Motion to approve A through C as presented. Support.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have nothing under number 5. We'll go to number 6, Reports Administration. Mr. Bishop?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'd like just to make a couple announcements. The first one quickly is I'd like to say congratulations to Jay Silvers. Jay Silvers has been with the City of St. Clair now for just over a year. He applied for and he has accepted the position of the new water treatment plant supervisor position. This is an important step. If you get to know Jay and you see his leadership and his leadership style, his experience in the military and his ability to problem solve is a great asset to the city. And so happy to see him put his foot forward and say he'd like to take on that responsibility. He has accepted the position, so he'll be starting that effectively the next payroll cycle as our new superintendent. The biggest change there is that he's leaving a union position as an operator, and now he's a salaried non-union employee. And so there's going to be obviously a little bit of a learning curve right there because it does change a little bit. But he definitely has the skill set and he has the mentality and leadership to see this one through. So happy to see that he stepped up and he took that. Also want to say, as of October 1st, we've started our new fiscal year. Budgets have reset. I think that we'll be pleasantly surprised when the auditors come back to see our performance this year, how well we've done in some departments. There's other departments that it's always an area of constant improvement, but it's things that creep up on us that we can't necessarily see as expensive. Nothing too, way out of bounds or out of the ordinary, but it's just there's always areas of improvement where we can button up in certain areas. So we'll be preparing for that audit. Speaking about finances, I do want to just send just a message of prayer and good thoughts sent out to our finance director, Lynette. So she's out of the office right now. She's coming in doing what she can when she can. She has a couple health issues, not to get in any detail here, but I just want to make you aware that our finance director is going through some things personally, and we have a remarkable team that's banded together and taking over the necessary steps and those responsibilities that she would have. She is working from home on some of the more major initiatives, and she did come into the office and pick up paperwork last week, so we'll be monitoring that situation closely. Okay, but just well wishes, and if you have her number, you'd like to send her something, feel free to do so. I'd like to just bring up one thing. David Struck used to work for the Metropolitan Planning Commission for St. Clair County, and he's since taken a position at SEMCOG. And through SEMCOG, he and Jeff Boehm got together, and they were able to pull data, very specific data, using a company called Placer AI. This is some remarkable stuff. It's a little eerie because of the ability to not only track the information that they do track and what they can capture in information, but SEMCOG has this technology, and we wanted to run a scenario, on the economic impact of the plaza. And we're going to start out by, before we put a number to it, we wanted to just show and get real hard data on the numbers of visitors, and this just came in today, so it's kind of a news thing for everyone, is the kind of numbers that we're seeing on a 5-year look back, pre-pandemic, pandemic, post-pandemic, where we are today. And the numbers are nothing less than just impressive, just absolutely impressive. I will make this report. This is hot off the press, so I will get this information out to everybody so read in full detail. But just as a time comparison, in 2019, could anyone take a guess on how many visits were made to the Riverview Plaza? Total visits, not just what happens during the concerts, but total visits.
In a year?
1 year, 2019,
10,000.
10,000.
1.2 million?
Yeah, high, low, I like that. We're all good car salesmen here. You go low, you go high. Let's meet in the middle, 463,000.
Wow.
Okay, visits, okay. How many do you think has happened just year to date? January 1 of 2024 to September 30th, 2024? Year to date. Not 1.2 million, Mitch.
Could be Mitch's number.
Couple 100,000.
Couple 100,000? 665,000
Jeez.
year to date. That impact, these are hard numbers. And the technology they use is basically pinging off a cell phone. There's no personal information, your name, your address, none of that stuff. It's just simply the unique ID that's coming off the IP of your phone that's being tracked. And it's showing that type of impact right here in St. Clair over a year's time. It's incredible. That's incredible. So what is going on in terms of, and I'd like to get a hard number on what the economic impact is, but what is going on in the plaza in our downtown area where this geofence was located, it's just showing incredible numbers. Incredible numbers. So we will go ahead, and it gives everything from the actual unique number of visitors to the average time spent on property, visits year over year end, and it gives statistics based on a 5-year trend. And so I think one of the most interesting pieces, and this is like the creepy part of the data, is that I can tell you where you went after you left the plaza, and where you came from, right? For example, this data is going to tell me that a certain percentage of people, obviously St. Clair has the highest percentage of visitors, but we have Port Huron, Marysville, East China, Bloomfield Hills, there's Birmingham, there's Traverse City visitors, Battle Creek has a couple pings on here. So it just goes to show that we're drawing from a vast demographic, and the geography is a big spread. And so, we sit down and we do some strategic planning and saying, okay, at the end of this year, we're probably going to punch out right around 750,000. What does that do for economic impact for the city of St. Clair? Okay, let's go for $1 million. What do we got to do to touch $1 million? Okay, and what does that mean for future planning? What does that mean for infrastructure? What does that mean for how we move people? How do we create safety for those people? How is it that we can get that many people through our city and for the events that we have year round? If the goal is $1 million, how we hit it, right? I think this type of data is the stuff that we need to hit that, to ring the bell for $1 million. Mm-hmm. And I think that's pretty cool for a town of 6,000. I think that's pretty cool. Okay. Anyhow, okay, I can go on and on about this cool data. I'll have more to share, and we have some exciting stuff coming up right down the pipe. But as of right now, I'll conclude my report.
Any questions, Mr. Bishop?
Could you give us an update on Gough Street?
Sure. Gough Street right now is going through its final punch list. We've met with the contractors. We have their final pay app has not been released. What we need to do is we need to look at the sidewalks on Laura. We need to look at the intersections of Harriet and Palmer. There's about 4 or 5 driveway approaches that need to be regraded, and that's and the restoration of the weeds, outside their house. But also, the mess they left behind at Clutcha Park. I mean, if people drive down Gough is one thing, but go turn into the old Ballfield Diamonds parking lot, and it's a mess. So they have quite a bit of work to do.
Okay.
And we were actually on site last week with those contractors doing final walkthrough punch lists.
So the concrete that hasn't, or the asphalt that hasn't been replaced, are we topping that off? All that road, is that being redone at the end of this
Yes,
project?
it is.
Okay, and how far are we going up onto Harriet and Laura on those asphalt jobs? Because they seem to have taken a brunt of damage.
All the way up.
Okay, so all the way out to
All the way up.
29 on both those.
All the way up.
Perfect.
Yep,
Okay.
We're taking it up. Now, on Laura, it's going to go and hook, and it's going to come all the way back down and tie back into the new road on Palmer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
So Bill lives at the house, there's Robert. Robert lives at the house right there, the last one on Lahr, it's coming right up past him. And we're probably gonna push into Harriet a little bit, like back towards the river,
I think
because
it needs some.
there's a tore
into
up.
Harriet as well.
Yeah, there's a section from Goff to the first catch basin, that's just,
It's gone.
it's gone. There's no sense in leaving that, so that
Yeah.
will be done as well.
Okay.
Yep, and that's scheduled for this calendar year.
Okay. Yep. Just what I wanted to know. Thank you.
Sure, you're welcome.
Anything else, Mr. Bishop?
No? Okay.
Mr. Downey, you have anything tonight?
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Anything for Mr. Downey? Any city departments?
Yes, Your Honor. The election is 4 weeks away, 28 days from tomorrow. AV ballots are available for that election. To date, we have already issued 1,098 ballots, which is about 23% of our registered voters. Just to put that in perspective, ballots have only been available for 11 days, so that's a lot in a short amount of time, and I do expect more. I like to hit a goal, so I'm hoping we get 25%. I think that'd be pretty cool. Our highest percentage of election day is 76%. I'm hoping we top that too, just because I think it's important, and I think everybody should vote, so I'll have that report after the election. Early voting begins Saturday, October 26th, through Sunday, November 3rd, from 8 to 4 here in this room. So aside from the election, actually this ties into the election. Last week on Thursday, St. Clair County Homeland Security Emergency Management held a election security workshop, and we performed tabletop exercises on pre-election day and election day scenarios on what you would do if this happened. I found it very informative, and although some of the scenarios were pretty dire, I walked away feeling very confident in our resources available to us as election administrators, so I feel really prepared, specifically in St. Clair County. So I'm glad I was able to attend that. Aside from election information, the city website is in its final stages. The city part of the build is done. Now the website designers are doing their back-end stuff. So when that website is launched, the new name will be cityofstclairmi.gov. And when that happens, we will market that pretty heavily with the new name. Our original website, of course, will be pointed to the new one, so everyone will still be able to get to the information when they need it. So that's moving along pretty great. And it's also time for business license renewals, so we'll be working on that in these next couple weeks too. So plenty to keep Morgan and I busy for a while. Thank you.
Thank you. D, any authorities, boards, commissions, these chairs? Number 7, we have no unfinished business. Let's go to 8, the new business. A, approve special events permit application, St. Clair Chamber of Commerce, Halloween nights. Chief?
Mayor, Council, Chamber has requested permission for their trick-or-treat trail at Gregg Park. It's on October 19th from 6 to 9. I recommend you approve it.
Make a motion to approve.
Support. Motion made, support. Questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, Chief. B, approve Nexus Cloud subscriptions, St. Clair Police Department.
That's, I'm just requesting, it's around 22 grand for a contract with Safe Fleet for our body cameras. And I'll give you the Reader's Digest version. In 22, you all approved us to get these cameras, and it was about 10 grand and 6 grand from RISA to set it up. And we used all that out of Dorothy and Knight's donation to the department. Since then, Safe Fleet has advised us we can't manage our own evidence anymore, and they won't support that. So RISA and John from RISA told us that there's no way they didn't know that when they sold us this. So we got with Mr. Downey, myself, and Don Ennis. We made some phone calls, some Zoom calls, and we got this deal. It's a 5-year contract. First year's free. It's about $8,900 of free the first year. And then it's $5,616 a year for the next 4. Their equipment, we don't have to purchase equipment, so this is just for them maintaining the evidence, basically. The reason I'm staying with Safe Fleet is their body cameras are good. We haven't had an issue with them. And if I go to Axon, which is another provider, to get the equipment and the docking stations and the software, would be around $90,000 to $95,000. I figured $5,616. We get the first year, starting 2025 is free, and the next budget year and 4 after that is $56.16 a year. Also with this product, I will be able to, and the two sergeants will be able to, if we are at the office doing something or at a conference, we can access on our cell phone real time to help answer any officer on scene's questions.
Well, basically, we're getting 5 years for 22 grand.
Yeah, instead of 27, 28 grand. This is a pretty good deal. I mean, we paid them 10, and they're saving us 89, so we lost, what, $1,000 on the deal. But to go somewhere else would have been way too expensive. Mr. Downey and Don Ennis were on them, and they realized they kind of messed around with us, and so they give us 1 year free, and the setup and everything else the first year.
So it sounds like you've done all your legwork.
Yes, yes, sir.
And based on Chief's recommendation, I make a motion to approve.
Support.
All right, the motion is made and supported. Any questions? All right, let's call the roll, please.
Laporte,
Yes.
Hall,
Yes.
Folds,
Yes.
Gatler,
Yes.
Kufa,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Chief. All right, C is approve HVAC proposal for library, Mr. Bishop.
Yes, I'm making a proposal and a recommendation tonight that we go forward with improving the library's HVAC system. So the quote that I have in front of you, which is also in your packet, it's for the HVAC systems, labor, and demolition of existing pipe and boiler system. St. Clair Library has struggled to maintain an adequate heating and cooling system. The cost to repair and replace parts now exceeds the useful life of the current system, and the recommended bid is $75,440. It is, and I would like to tell you that it is not the lowest bid, and this is the reason why. Upon opening the bid, I noticed that Airworks Heating and Cooling had a bid of $70,278 versus Superior Heating and Cooling's $75,440. So you go back and you start reading the line items of the quote, and I realized that Airworks did not include the asbestos abatement that's required of this job. So Airworks actually called me this morning and said, we noticed that we didn't include it. We're going to have a subcontractor do it. Would you allow for us to send a number? I said, sure, you can send a number again. However, we're making our decision based on a full, complete bid. So they came back. They said it's going to be an additional $5,000 for the abatement, which makes it a difference. Airworks Heating and Cooling still being $162 less than Superior. However, Airworks only offers a 1-year parts and labor warranty and 5-year parts warranty on their carrier equipment. And for the extra $162, Superior Heating and Cooling offers the 10-year compressor warranty and then 10 years on parts and 2 years on labor.
It's double.
It's double. So for $162, and the fact that they bid the project right the first time, my recommendation is to go with Superior Heating and Cooling for the amount of $75,440.
I support that. I'll make a motion to accept the bid.
I support that.
All right, the motion has been made and supported to accept the bid of $75,440 from Superior Heating and Cooling. Any questions?
Got one question. Bill Clayman, 1334 South Riverside. Just the two bids?
3.
Who was the third?
Carter.
Carter, it was
Yeah, thank you, Carter Mechanical.
And how were the bids,
93.7.
how'd you obtain the bids? Was it advertised?
It was advertised on bid night. It was advertised online, and those things, and they all came back sealed,
On
open,
where?
and we opened
I didn't hear you. Where was it advertised?
BidNet, and then on our website.
On our city website it was advertised?
Was it not? Or
I
was it
didn't see
BidNet?
it. I was just
Is that-
curious.
Sorry, it was on
Because I
BidNet.
didn't see it on BidNet either. That's why I'm curious.
Any other questions? All right, motion made, supported. Call the roll, please.
Hall,
Yes.
Folds,
Yes.
Gatler,
Yes.
Kufa,
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
Cedar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. Order number 9, claims and accounts, September 19, September 15, October 3, 2024.
Hearing no questions, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve as presented.
Or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go to number 10, public comment, public questions and comments. 3-minute limit, please. Any non-agenda items that you want to talk about? Yes, sir.
Thank you, City Council members. Just to introduce myself, I'm Warren Head. I'm currently the Chief of Police at Yale, and I'm a write-in candidate for the St. Clair County Sheriff Department. The primary was a close race. However, I felt that as close as it was, I'm going to continue in the November election. I have a lot of experience. I'm 56 years in law enforcement. I have started in the Air Force. I'm a U.S. veteran. Then had 13 years as U.S. Marshal Service, 5 years in Mount Clemens PD, and 30 years at the Sheriff Department here in St. Clair County. Retired from there in '08, and never had the problems that they're having up there at this current time, and I think that I can do a better job. I have a different philosophy. I'm entirely different the way I take care of matters, situations. I have a lot of good ideas. I have a staff already assembled. So I would ask that you would consider me, remember me. My name is Warren Head, for write-in candidate in November. I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Warren. Anybody else? Yeah.
Council, Mayor, good evening. My name is Mike Pappas. My wife and I live at 1311 Fredmore Highway. I ran into an issue with drainage. Could I bring some pictures up? This is a letter that I got from code enforcement. I called the code enforcement gentleman about, I would say approximately 2 months ago. Granted, we got a lot of rain, but my neighbors do not have any gutters on the house, the garage, or the carport. And they built up the dirt to the point where when it rains, it all runs into my yard like Niagara Falls. It's destroyed my garden. The code enforcement said I can't have the garden anymore because I've been dumping grass in there, but I compost, but I don't put any food product, no eggshells, no anything to attract any animals. But I grow my grandson's pumpkins in there. That's what I do every year. Granted, it looks a mess now because it's been underwater. He won't let me bring it, the code enforcement won't let me bring in any dirt to level out my yard, to seed it, to reseed it, because it's been destroyed. Now he wants me to take down the neighbor's fence and pay for it. It's not even my fence. You can see in the pictures that the fence in the front yard, it continues all the way through the backyard. It's on their property. It's been their property from day one. I would have done it 11 years ago when I moved in. I'm at a loss for words with the code enforcement because he pretty much told me he asked me, what do you want me to do? I said, enforce the code. Well, he turned around and attacked me with these. I don't know what to do here. I just had surgery recently and he wants me to have this fence torn down and the garden tore out within 5 days, I believe it is, by the 15th. I can't do anything for the next couple of months.
Why does he say the fence is your responsibility?
Because it's fallen down. It's been falling down since I moved in.
It's not your fence.
I understand that. It's connected to their cyclone fence that runs from the front of the house all the way to the backyard, and then it's tied into a wooden fence. It's not my fence. Last time I had a run-in with the code enforcement, he was going to ticket me for having my downspout towards the neighbor's yard, which I did. So I turned it. I went out there and took a video of when it was raining. My downspout was clogged. It was getting flooded from their roof line. I don't want any conflict with my neighbors. I've been more than polite with them, but today I got a call from the police officer from St. Clair at work stating that I'm gonna be charged with trespassing if I keep cutting their grass. I didn't know I was cutting their grass. I guess I was going 5 feet on their lawn. I come home today, I got 2 big signs in my backyard, no trespassing or you will be prosecuted, in the back of my yard. Do they need a permit to put those signs up? Which is one of my questions. My wife is at a loss for words. She's ready to sell the house. I've treated my neighbor with nothing but respect, as I do with everybody. It's been 11 years. She could have came out and said, hey, you're cutting my grass, please don't do that. No problem. To come home to something like that, petty.
Quentin, are you aware of any of these?
This is the first of hearing it.
All I really want to do is grade out my backyard, fix my garden back up, and go on with life.
Dated. Just the one, Mr. Pappas?
There's more coming down.
I mean, some of you've been to my house, you know how I keep it. I mean, I'm meticulous.
Okay, Mike, so, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, obviously.
I understand.
So we're gonna turn this over to Quentin,
And you can keep the pictures, you can keep whatever you want.
and then I'm assuming that he's gonna peruse this and then probably contact you.
Yeah, I just don't want to be ticketed,
I understand.
because he wants to start writing me tickets if I don't do I just had surgery, I can't do any of this.
Was this a single letter?
Yeah,
Okay.
Is the ticketing coming from the police department or from code enforcement?
Code enforcement.
All right, thank you, Mike.
thank you very much.
Anybody else?
Bill Clement, 1374 South Riverside. Quentin, you mentioned that a gentleman left the ranks of water plant operator, take the supervision job.
Yes.
Now, has that created opening in the water department?
No.
You lost a guy, didn't you?
No, we're fully staffed.
So you were one guy overstaffed then if you took a guy out of the ranks and moved him into the supervision,
Correct.
right? All right.
Anybody else? Okay, then we'll go to number 11. Mayor and council, anybody on council have anything?
I have a quick thing. In your packet, there should be a one page with some pictures on it. With regards to a sign, we've been approached at the Hillside Cemetery by a group that wants to recognize and honor a American Revolutionary War veteran that is in the cemetery. It's really as simple as us putting a sign that they're designed and they just want to put a sign at the cemetery. We're very excited about this as a cemetery board. I think it's a nice looking sign and it brings attention to, a lot of people probably didn't know that, but it's a pretty big deal. There's only a handful of these people in Michigan that I've heard about. So
You need our blessing?
and that you can help me here, but I think it's as simple as we can make a motion and approve it, and they want to do this around July of '25 is when the sign will be here and installed.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, in order for them to move forward and order the sign and get the verbiage and do all that, they need formal approval. And since it's being installed in Hillside Cemetery on public property, could we entertain a motion to approve that installation?
Are there any funds being asked for, allocated towards this by the city or by the cemetery? How is that being handled?
There's no funds. It's fully funded by the Sons of the American Revolution. Sons of, yes, Sons of the American Revolution.
I'll make that motion.
Our Legion Auxiliary, we gave them $300 toward it too.
And thank you. So, supported.
All right, motion made, supported, question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Before we get the motion to go into closed session, I do want to wish Councilman John Watt a quick recovery. Let's go to number 12, closed session. Request for closed session to discuss strategy connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement with employees represented by ASME and to discuss a confidential attorney-client communication.
I'll make a motion.
Support.
Questions? All in favor, say aye. I'm sorry, call the roll. Call the roll, sorry.
Folds,
Yes.
Steller,
Yes.
Koopa.
Yes.
Laporte,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Cedar,
Yes.
motion carries.
You are more than welcome to wait up in the lobby. We'll come and get you when we're done with our closed session. I don't know if we're going to vote on anything when we come back or not. I'm not sure. Thank you for coming out, everybody. Be safe.